Hi, Dusty Shell, Director with Usborne Books More, and I'm a homeschooling parent. I have 5 children, 3 of which are old enough to be homeschooling. They are in 5th grade, 3rd grade, and 1st grade. And today I'm going to chat with my fellow homeschoolers a little bit and share with you some of my favorite basic resources. I'm not going to go too deep into each subject because we just have so much. This video would never end, but I do want to share some of our, across the board great resources that will last on your shelves through homeschooling multiple children. First, I'm going to start with the Not Your Everyday Illustrated Thesaurus. I love this when you're teaching your children to write. Of course, it's natural for them to be limited in their vocabulary when they're first learning. And this goes beyond your regular thesaurus because it's geared towards children. It's brightly illustrated, but I love that it breaks the words down into categories. So, let's take a look. They're writing a story about living in the town. They can turn to the page that says in the town, and it actually gives them list of words that apply to that category. So if you're going shopping, here are words you can use, and sights and places to see. Or if you go to the country over here, things you might see, river words, describing the countryside. So it really breaks it down for them in a way that makes it easier for them to understand. And it's just chock full of things, job words, hobbies. It even includes writing tips in the back. So this is a really great resource to have on hand as soon as you start to teach your child about writing. We have our illustrated math dictionaries. We have 3. You can buy these individually or you can buy them all together for only $36. So you can have them from when your child first starts schooling all the way up through high school. Here's your first illustrated math dictionary that covers really basic first concepts. So you're thinking preschool, kindergarten, with numbers and counting. So their first few years of school. It does touch on things like multiplication, but it's really your first basics. And it gives you the terminologies and gives you pictorial representations of what it means. So even if you're a parent, I know math is one of the subjects that I sometimes struggle with explaining to my children, so it's really easy to grab one of these off the shelf and find the proper subject and then give them a visual. And then the next one is the Illustrated Elementary Math Dictionary, which is kind of self-explanatory with what ages it applies to, and it just is a step above and goes into a little bit more complex concepts. Symmetry. And then finally the Illustrated Dictionary of Math, which is middle school, high school math, or even if you're an adult like me and just need a little refresher. Algebraic graphs, equations. These are excellent. You can use them on their own to teach concepts if you really wanted to. We have great encyclopedias. We've got a world history encyclopedia, we've got an ancient world one, we've got a science one. They're all fabulous. I'm just going to show you this one because this is my favorite. It's the geography encyclopedia, and we actually had an entire year of world geography studies that I based solely out of this book, and we still didn't touch half of it. And I love that it has real photographs along with illustrations in them. It's not your typical dry encyclopedia that just drones on and on where your eyes glaze over while you're reading. It's broken up into snippets of information. It's got a complete world atlas in the back. It's just a really great resource to have all through your schooling years. Going back to writing, I love our Write Your Own Stories books. This is Write Your Own Storybook. We also have my first story writing book. We also have a creative writing one and a Write and Draw Your Own Comics book. There's several in this series, and these are hardcover, but they have an inside spiral, so they're really sturdy for your child to handle. This is my daughter's, so you'll see her handwriting, but it walks you through every step of creating your own story, from making a character, about how all the pictures tell a story, how your plot, different ideas like time traveling. It gives you free writing space. Great resource to encourage them to use their imagination. We have our Illustrated Dictionary, which is kind of in the same vein as the thesaurus, to where the pictures kind of help rather than just having the dry text. So I think this is a great dictionary to have on hand because it'll also give you a little visual of a lot of the things that you might be looking up as they're learning their dictionary skills. To go along with geography, we've got our Lift the Flat Picture Atlas, which is one of our interactive Lift the Flat books. Every page has multiple flaps. So not only do you see the continents, you can learn more about them by peeking under every flap. It'll give you a little snippet of information about them. Or we have the Children's Picture Atlas, which is for younger children so they're not overwhelmed, and it does begin with sharing general information and then goes into the actual maps. Here's the world, and it'll have pictures of the people who live there and a little bit of information about each place. This is a new book in our catalog, the Big Picture Thesaurus. And so this is for a younger child that isn't quite ready, but it still follows the same vein where it's in categories, but it has lots of illustrations. So here, you know, you've got getting around, so they're talking about travel or ways to move, transportation, and it has all kinds of them, limousine, your gas station, a truck and what they carry, and different kinds of boats, and then sounds that they make, like it's saying that a hiss, screech, or that it's backing up, but another word for that is reverse. So lots of great visuals to really expand their vocabulary. This book right here was my very first Usborne book. And this is the Time Traveler, and I love it. It covers medieval times, Vikings, the Roman world, and ancient Egypt all in one. And it reads like a storybook, kind of, while it gives you great information about all of these times. So if you do a 4-year history cycle or anything like that, this is an amazing resource to have on hand for your child to learn about what you're studying. And then finally, I've got 365 science ideas. Now, these aren't really in-depth experiments, but they're really great for preschool or elementary age students, even upper elementary students. It gives you one activity for every day, so you could literally do a different one every day and have a new one, but kind of an introduction to basic science concepts. So like they're talking about friction, fingerprinting, and almost all of them are really simple to do. You won't have to buy any big elaborate science kits or anything else to go along with. So those are just some basics that would give you a really great supplementation, or even could be the base of a core of your curriculum if you're a homeschooling family. And we have tons more on the website, so make sure to check those out too.